my tomato sauce and tomato paste lids sealed. Super happy to have this to fill my pantry. This is the last of the tomato season tasks, is to take these dried tomato skins and blend them up in a spice grinder and add them to my tomato powder jar, which can be rehydrated and used sort of like tomato paste. I have blanched the parsnips that I chopped up into about 1/2-inch cubes for 3 to 4 minutes, and now I'm just draining them, and I am vacuum sealing, making sure they're dry, and then vacuum sealing them to be roasted, boiled, or mashed. After their ice water bath, I've put them into this bowl on a paper towel, and then I'm actually using this paper towel to grab them just as another measure of getting excess moisture off before I put them in the vacuum seal bag to freeze. Got a really good parsnip harvest, and I'm excited to use these all winter. Just flattening each package out and then sealing it. And I'm manually stopping it so that it doesn't suck too much moisture up into the track and it won't seal otherwise. There we go. It's nice and flat, so it'll fit in the freezer well, and they'll stack. There's 2 out of the 5 done. That's at least 2 servings for a healthy sized meal of either roasted or mashed with some leftovers for lunch the next day afterwards. I have 14.2 pounds of, I think they're all rutabagas, but there might be some turnips in there, that I'm going to be blanching and freezing today. Washing them, peeling them, and getting them cubed. That's a huge bowl of diced rutabaga. It took a lot of cutting and trimming and some surgery to get the cores out and some of the just weird spots because they grow so funny. Actually, the biggest, ugliest ones, usually when it cuts anyway, feels like the tenderest rutabagas. So those are all diced, ready to go. My water is nearly boiling, and I've got my ice bath ready to go. Plus, I have my food saver ready to go because I'm going to be freezing these, and then later on we can either roast or mash them. So everything is ready to go. I just need to blanch each batch for 3 minutes in the boiling water and then ice bath it before I get it vacuum sealed and frozen. I've got quite a mess because I'm also roasting pumpkin for a pie later because we're doing our annual, oops, I already had a turkey in the freezer from last year, turkey dinner before Thanksgiving. And I've already made up freezer bags and labeled them. And here's what I've got already going from the last batch, but I'm waiting to seal them until I see how full each one is to know if I want to even up the bags, put more in, so we'll see. They smell better cooked. I'm not a radish fan, but they kind of smell like radishes when they're raw, so I can't imagine what my house smells like, but these will be great mashed up, boiled and mashed and salted and buttered pepper, white pepper, when we come time to cook them. All blanched, vacuum sealed. That's a wrap from that 14 pounds of rutabagas that I had to trim quite a bit, and the trimmings went out to the compost. Oops. The trimmings went out to the compost. I got 5 bags of blanched rutabagas ready for the freezer. I tried to put them in serving sizes that I thought would be good for like 2 healthy servings of mashed potatoes size. And you'll cook these, boil them, mash them, and season them with butter, salt, and pepper. White pepper if you don't like black pepper flakes. Just like mashed potatoes. They'll have a little bit different taste though. One of these is going to go to my folks. They got the raw end of the deal. I'm getting Mom's old serger, and they're getting a bag of stinky rutabagas. Next, I've got 3 little pie pumpkins that I have removed the seeds and guts out of. I'm putting them cut side down on a pan with foil, and then I'm going to spread some avocado oil over the skins and bake these at 375 for an hour. I'm also going to, well, the guts are going to the deer. The seeds, I am washing the pulp off, and I'm going to make some snacks out of that. The rest of my pie pumpkins will be for another project. I might can them. These are for creating puree to make a pie, and I'll freeze leftover puree for pie or cookies for another time. While the pumpkins are roasting, I have washed off the seeds that I pulled out of each of them, rinsed them through the colander, drained as well as I can, and I'm going to put these onto this parchment, spread them out to a single layer, and then I'm going to let these air dry for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to bake them in a 425 oven with my pumpkins while they roast, and I'll reduce the temperature of the pumpkins down to 375 for the rest of their hour. And we'll roast these at 425 for, after this 10-minute drying period, for 8 to 10 minutes. And then after they come out of the oven, I'm going to do 3 different flavorings for the batches. I'm going to do just a Cajun seasoning for a little spicy batch, and then I'm going to do a pumpkin pie flavored batch with cinnamon, mace, ginger, nutmeg, and allspice. And then I'm going to try a cocoa and maple sugar batch for snacking. I will also toss a quarter batch, so I'm going to have 4 batches. I'm going to toss a batch with just salt, sea salt. So to get all this to stick, now that they've air dried for about 10 minutes, I'm just going to squirt them with a little bit of avocado oil and roast them that way, and I will season them after they come out of the oven after 10 minutes. My helper is here, but needs to stand away from the oven. It's too hot. Look out, look out. All right, pumpkin seeds, 425 for about 8 to 10 minutes with our pumpkins that are roasting away too for pie. The pumpkin seeds have roasted for about 10 minutes. I've got a baggie for each flavor and labeled with the spices in there. I'm just going to divide this up into those 4 bags and shake them. Pumpkin timer just went off, so that's good and roasted. I'm going to get that out of the oven to cool. And I've shaken up all of the bags of pumpkin seeds. We have sea salt, Cajun spice, pumpkin pie spiced, and chocolate maple sugar. I think I'm getting my early birthday / Christmas present, the Christmas tree skirt that Mom embroidered that you saw in my last vlog. She's done, and I get to pick it up now so I can decorate my house for Christmas early. So let me show you why I say that my folks got the short end of the stick when I met them in town today with a package of rutabagas. I got out of that trade my mom's old serger because she upgraded. Dad made party mix, so we've got a big bag of party mix from him. extra vitamins and collagen that Mom had, and my birthday / Christmas present that Mom made me with her embroidery machine for my early birthday, which is, it's my birthday? Birthday's next week, a week from today. But look at this tree skirt that I get to put out early now. Mom embroidered and quilted this. It's got all the different shops and it's kind of a Christmas village. North Pole, teddy bear, milk and cookies, elf school, quilts, post office, pie shop, pet shop, hot cocoa at church, yarn, ice cream shop, a lighthouse, what's this, the candy shop, Christmas trees, North Pole, and then Santa and the reindeer in the center. Pretty cool. I would say I made out like a bandit on that trade for some rutabagas. Thanks, Mom and Dad. The next thing is to make pumpkin pie from the roasted pumpkins and get the turkey cleaned up and in the fridge, get stuffing made so it can cool for tomorrow morning. But I need a break for a little bit, so I'm going to watch some of my favorite YouTubers and drink some coffee for a little bit. Just got all the flesh out of those 3 roasted pumpkins and pureed it in my Ninja, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to get it transferred to this bowl and measured out. I'm going to measure out enough for 1 pie tonight, and then the rest I will measure out into vacuum sealed bags to put in the freezer for the future. I've got my 2 eggs beaten, almost 1 3/4 cup of my fresh roasted garden pumpkin that's been pureed. I have 3/4 cup of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, and then a can of evaporated milk. And then I will make my crust, and the pie is getting baked tonight. Perfect. I ended up getting 3 pies worth out of those 3 pumpkins that I roasted and pureed. These will go in the freezer for another time, each equivalent to a 15-ounce can of purchased, and then this is what's mixed up for tonight's pie. I've got everything I need to whip up a single pie crust, including my secret ingredient. If you want to see me make a pie crust, go to my other video that I will have in the description box. Beautiful flaky pie crust is made. You can learn how to do that in my other video. The pie filling is ready to pour in and bake for 15 minutes at 425, and then we'll turn it down and bake it a little longer until knife comes clean in the center. Here's my trick to enhance stovetop stuffing, which is actually my favorite, is to saute extra onion and celery in butter, lots of butter, and add it to your mixture and cool it the night before you're going to stuff your turkey. The pumpkin pie just came out of the oven, so we're going to let it cool on this rack. I am going to have a cup of tea and relax for a little bit, watch some of my self-reliance on YouTube, and maybe some Simple Living Alaska on YouTube. I'm waiting for my stuffing to cool before I can put some plastic on it and put that in the fridge for tomorrow for the turkey dinner. I didn't intend to do this much today, but it feels pretty good. Oh, I've also got sourdough fed. Time to relax. I got up early this morning and look what is happening. It's our annual, oh, there's already a turkey in the freezer from last year dinner, a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving. Someone else is excited too. You like pumpkin dinner? You like turkey dinner, Pumpkin? Yes? You're old. We'll let you have some. Turkey dinner has come and gone, and we've just spent a little bit cleaning up and then had our pumpkin pie. What I now have on the stove is all of my kitchen scraps that I keep in the freezer. You can see parsnips, carrots, onion skins, some frozen celery, and I added a little bit of sea salt and peppercorn to the turkey carcass, and there was actually a chicken bone too, but in that bag that I keep in the freezer. But we're going to simmer this all day, and then I will get it cooled so that tomorrow I can can the beef if there's enough jars to do that. Otherwise, I'll freeze it until the next time when I do have enough jars to do broth in the pressure canner. But this is going to be good for turkey noodle soup. Who knows what. One of my favorite things to do after a turkey, though, throw the whole carcass in and the skins. Leftover meat that you know you're not going to eat. It'll be great. Well, I've worked off a turkey dinner coma on some YouTube video catch-up and editing my acorn flour video. I had this going, this stock. I just turned the oven off and it's dang near bedtime. I'm getting tired, so I'm going to just take the bones and veggies and meat off and put them in a big bowl to cool. I'll pick through it tomorrow. I promise I'm going to do it this time. I didn't do it with the beef broth last time I made that, but I'm going to let this cool and tomorrow pick that meat off, and then I'll reheat the stock, the turkey broth, to pressure can it if I have enough jars to pressure can it. I fished out all the meat and vegetables and put it in my great big bowl, and now I'm going to strain what's left, and it's a pretty good amount. I always promise myself that I'm not going to pick through the hot meat and burn my fingers, but then I always realize I don't have enough fridge space for 2 huge containers between the stock and the meat that's left over. So I'm thinking about it. I went ahead and picked through it. So all the bones and the veggie scraps are gone. This is just the turkey meat that's left. I have, and I measured it, I have 4 quarts of turkey stock left. And I was looking through my ball preserving canning book, and I think the perfect thing to do, since I've got 4 quarts there of chicken stock and I know I have at least 3 cups of meat, is I'm going to tomorrow pressure can turkey soup. All I need to do tomorrow then is cut up some celery, carrots, onions, and get this all boiling. Salt, I forget what else, salt, I can't remember what else I'm supposed to add, but I'm just going to dice up this turkey meat until I have 3 cups and add it to my 4 cups of stock and put that in the fridge, and then start from there tomorrow to can some actual turkey vegetable soup. And then all we have to do is pull a quart off the shelf, and if we want to add homemade noodles or anything else to it when we cook it up, we can, but then we'll have some prepared meals ahead of time, which has been on my list of things to do. So, great plan. What do you think, Pumpkin? Should we go to bed? I'm pooped. Let's go to bed. The turkey vegetable soup needs to simmer before I can start canning it. And I got a little bag of my weird little carrots that I grew that I didn't need today that I'll just keep in the fridge for fresh eating. And I've got another bag to go in the freezer that I've started with the scraps from onions, carrots, celery. I'll add to it garlic, chicken bones, whatever stock ingredients that I come up with until the next time I make stock. Five quart jars of turkey soup, almost done pressure canning, and I'm going to get another 5 meals in the freezer with these divided food saver plates. I've got all the food in each compartment, and then you just seal it up in a bag with the food saver. So that's 10 meals in the freezer and pantry on the shelf, and we had dinner last night, leftovers for dinner, and leftovers for lunch today. So that's 2, 4, 6, 16 meals off of that one turkey dinner. And a bag of stewed turkey in the freezer that's already chopped up, diced, and then I have this leftover breast that I will probably chop, dice, and freeze for the freeze for who knows what, burritos, extra soup, whatever, for the future. So really 16, 17, probably 19 or 20 meals out of this one turkey. It was a 16-pound turkey. I used 2 boxes of stovetop stuffing, some extra onions, half a stick of butter, and a couple ribs of celery. Plus I used 3 humongous potatoes and a little bit of flour for the gravy. Not bad. Turkey soup is done. I'm excited to see how it turned out. Looks beautiful. Let's get it cooling. Beautiful. 5 two-person meals cooling for the shelves. It's gorgeous turkey soup. I think that's enough for this week. Signing out. See you next time.